Hi there. First of all, thank you so much for your interest in learning about WordPress. This course is for you if you have a little or no knowledge about WordPress yet and you'd like to invest on a website, maybe start a blog or a self-hosted portfolio for your creative projects. This is your starting point. So without further ado, let's get started. Before we dive into installing WordPress for our website, let's compare first WordPress.com and WordPress.org. They are both a tool in creating a website. They are both free to use, or at least on WordPress.com, it's free when you're just starting out. And in this course, we are focusing on learning about WordPress.org. The difference is that WordPress.com is hosted. The free version is too limited. You don't get to use your branded domain. There will be WordPress ads on your site, and it's not really a go-to platform, especially when you're serious about starting your website or blog. For the paid plans, you can use a branded domain. There are available plugins to use. Plus, there is an available customer support for you. Convenience-wise, this is a good option, WordPress.com, but over time, it will be quite expensive, especially if you're planning to have your site for a long time. Now, on WordPress.org, the platform itself is free. It's open source, but you can't really start using it unless you purchase your own domain and subscribe to a hosting service. And yes, there is an upfront cost, but over time, it will be less costly than WordPress.com in the long run because you will only be spending for your domain and host. You're definitely free to pick a company where you purchase your domain and hosting service. Some are really less expensive. Plugins are usually free unless you have a specific paid feature that you'll need. And it's really cool to learn about how the backend works on creating a website. That's why we're learning it now. The domain is the unique address of your website. This is like the identity of your site, whether it's a blog or a portfolio. So spending time, reasonable time deciding on your domain is recommended because you can't really go back and change your domain name once you have purchased it unless you spend money again and purchase another one or like wait another year for it to expire because a domain is usually paid per year. It's not a one-time purchase. So looking for a company that sells affordable domains can really save you some money, especially that you will have to pay for it every year. Now, there are a lot of companies out there that sells affordable domains. We have the popular ones like GoDaddy. But for me, I'm always considering these two companies called Porkbun and Namecheap. Currently, I buy my domains from Porkbun, but these two are really an affordable option purchasing your domain. So, first things first is to decide what your domain name will be. Since it's unique to your website, the domain should be available to buy. So, to check if the domain name you want is available, simply enter it here and it will show you if it's available or not. So, let's say we want to buy the domain WordPress for beginners.com. Let's see. Okay, so it's crossed out. It says here it's not available anymore. So you have to think of an alternative. It will also show you other options that you'd like to consider. Usually a different domain extension like .org, .studio, .info, .art if you're a creative. But these days there are really a lot of extensions emerging other than .com. Yeah, .io. But still, .com is the most used and preferred by many. So it's still easier to remember if you have a website or like if you want someone to remember your website. Still, .com is the most preferred option. Now, another, and I think the better way to check it if the domain you want to buy is available is using namechecker.com. So in this site, you're not only checking if the domain is available, you will also be able to see if the same username or social media handle is still available, especially on like Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and all the other platforms. It's a great help, especially if you want to use the same exact domain name and or username across all your social media or online accounts. So let's get started on getting our domain. Let me try, since this first option is not available. Let me try WordPress number 4 beginners. WordPress4beginners.com. Hey, it's available. Let's also try to check if the username is available. Okay, obviously.com is available. Facebook, Pinterest, and all the other is the YouTube handle WordPress for beginners is not available anymore. So if you are planning to have a YouTube channel, then you might want to reconsider it. So, something like that. What else? Yeah, if you're actually not planning on using these social media platforms, then don't worry about this. It's just like, it's good to know that the specific username that's exactly the same with your domain is available in case you'd like to use it, or maybe for future reference. Well, hopefully it's still available when you decide to use it in the future. All right, so if your domain name is available, then go ahead and enter it in your chosen domain seller. So I'm entering it in Porkbun. Then you can go ahead and add it to cart and continue checking out. Usually they accept credit card or PayPal, so be ready with your payment method. I'm going to show you my purchase domains. Let's see. Yeah, I'm logged in, domain management. So here are my previously purchased domains and are still active domains. One thing to note, if you're just trying out, you're not sure if you'll be using the domain for long term, make sure to disable the auto renew feature. 1 year is just like a blink of an eye, and you might not notice you'll be charged again pretty soon. So it's safer to have the auto renew feature disabled, and you can just renew it manually if you prefer to. Then if you feel you'd like to keep the domain for good, then go ahead and enable it for your convenience. All right, now we have our domain. All right, so aside from having a domain, another prerequisite on creating a WordPress website is having a web host. It's subscription based, similar to domain, it's usually paid per year, and there are a lot of companies at this time that sell affordable web hosting services. Most popular for beginners is Bluehost. Most of them offer free domain for their first year, so you might want to consider that as well. Personally, I did choose not to use Bluehost just because I had a not so good experience when I first subscribed to their web hosting service. Partly my fault. I wasn't reading like their fine print, but their customer support is pretty great. So you might want to check it out. Just make sure read every detail of like their offers and like go through everything before deciding to pay. Okay, so let's proceed with the one I'm currently using. I've been using it for like 2-3 years now, and it's I think the most affordable option out there, especially if you're based in the Philippines. It's called Kapitan Hosting. As you can see, their packages are very affordable. You can start for as low as $995 USD, and that's not per month, that's per year. How cool is that? I also commend their great customer support. They respond to emails promptly. This is based on personal experience. Okay, so go ahead, and since you're just starting out, I recommend getting the budget cloud first if you choose to get your web hosting service from Kapitan Hosting, because you can upgrade anytime you feel that you need to. So after purchasing your web hosting service, you'll be given access to the host panel. It shows like this one, every hosting service uses a host panel, and they're just pretty much the same. Maybe the layout is slightly different, but a host panel is a standard tool in a hosting service. It's like your dashboard. So you'll be able to manage your email accounts in here. You can add a branded email account using your own domain. Your databases and file managers are also found in here. Important note, the last thing we want is to break our website. So make sure to not touch your database and even your files in here if you're not sure what you're doing. We don't really need to open the database and file manager in creating a WordPress website. So this is very important. We will also be adding the domain we have purchased in here. If there's a free domain in your hosting service, you can find it here. If none, we'll add it a little later. Okay, so we don't really need these tools for now, except the SSL certificates. SSL means secure sockets layer, and having an SSL certificate will give security and credibility to your website. So like if you don't have an SSL certificate, your website goes like this. It shows not secure, like this host panel. So it shows not secure, and the HTTPS is crossed out. So if you avail an SSL certificate, it will go like this. And here there's a lock icon showing it's secured, and HTTPS is not crossed out. Okay. So if you avail an SSL certificate, it will go like this, and you'll have HTTPS, shows that the website is secured for people to browse. So usually domain and web hosting services include free SSL certificates. So that's a great point to check whichever company you choose to subscribe to. Like for me, my domains include, where are the details? Sorry. Okay, so my domains include SSL certificate when I purchase them. This is why I like Parkbun. They include a lot of like benefits when you purchase a domain, especially those that have something to do with privacy and security and stuff like that. We don't have to be technical about that, just some points to consider. So there it goes, the software that we'll be using, WordPress Manager. There's also this software called Softaculous. In here, you can also find the WordPress installer. And now we're ready to build a WordPress website. Okay, before we install WordPress, let's make sure the domain we'll be using has been added to our web host. This is applicable to you if your domain is not yet included in your web hosting service and you have purchased it outside of your web hosting service. In my case, I purchased my domain from Parkbun. So I will need to add it manually to my web host. To do that, let's head over to our domains. Add your domain. Let me add one of my domains, RC Cafe. Yeah. So let's head over to domains and then enter a valid domain name, rccafe.com. You have RC, you can have the domain.com here, or just the domain, the name itself without the .com. Up to you. And then simply add domain. So now we have added the domain that we wanted to add. It's not activated yet. We have to set up the name servers. It's like currently this domain is under Parkbun's name servers. So we have to transfer it to our own web host. Okay, so to do that, let's head over to DNS editor under domain. And then let's edit the domain that we want to update the name servers to. So these are the current name servers: ns11.capitanhosting.com and ns12.capitanhosting.com. .com. So we have to add it in here under the name servers. Let's edit this one. These are the name servers of port 1. So we have to replace it with Capitan Hosting's name servers. Hosting.com. And then there you go. We just added it. And then maybe you can refresh it first. Okay, now it's added and we're good to go. Let's install WordPress. So you can use this one, WordPress Manager. I don't know, but I'm using Softaculous. But they're just the same because Softaculous is like installer of not just WordPress, but all the other softwares out there, including WordPress. Okay, so now let's install WordPress. Just hit install now. And then let's choose the domain that we want. Let's say I'm installing rccafe.com and you can choose HTTPS, www. I choose HTTPS. Okay, so just don't mind this because we'll have to activate the SSL certificate inside WordPress. Okay. Make sure to remove this one to make your installation or to make your URL just your domain and no extensions in here. Okay. Always make sure to install the latest version. You can install the older versions, but for it to run like smoothly with no errors and all, just let's stick to the latest version. Okay, let's give your site a name. You can change it inside WordPress. So let's say the name of my site is RC Cafe, and how about let's say cakes and coffee. Okay, so you will be creating your admin account. When you set your username, you can't change it anymore. So make sure you've decided your username in here. You can also add another user in WordPress and then you log in from there. But let's create an admin account here. I would like to use my name and then password is okay, I'm gonna hide it. Just set your password. Okay. Okay. And then admin email, this one. There's no existing email of this yet, but we can create this one inside the host panel. Okay, so for now, let's set it as that. Okay, Tuesday. No need to have that. Let's have the advanced options. You can just skip this one and then just you know just have it as this table prefix in your database. But if you want it to be recognizable, like if you're referring to your database, to your file managers, you want it to you want to recognize your domain and not just like random letters and numbers. So I want it to be AC, something like that. Just so I know that it's RC Cafe. All right. And then it says 4 here because I have already installed like other 3 databases. So something like that. Okay. Let's create install. And it will just take a couple of minutes. Okay, congratulations. The software was installed successfully. So we now have our blank website. Let's visit this one. And then this one is your backend URL. Okay, make sure to bookmark your backend URL, but it's just like adding the extension wp-admin or wp-login, something like that. Okay. There is a privacy error because we haven't activated the SSL certificate yet. So let's try it in incognito first. These are just some of the common errors that you might be encountering in creating a website, like the privacy error. But we'll have to activate the SSL certificate inside WordPress. So there you go. This is your website. I want you to tap yourself on the back, congratulate yourself. This is a milestone for you. And so your website is live now, and we just have to customize it, to make it look awesome. Okay, so we are now in, okay, so you are now in your admin page. This is the URL. Again, it's not yet, the SSL certificate is not yet activated. That's why the HTTPS is crossed out, but it's okay. We'll be activating it inside WordPress. So this is the URL. You can also put wp-admin in here. Okay. Let's now log in. Remember the admin account you created when you install WordPress. Let's enter it here. What's my username? My username is Rachel. And there you go. We are now inside our WordPress admin page where we will be able to customize our website the way we want. Let me walk you through first. Under the name of your website here, there's an option to visit your site. So open a new tab to preview your site. And then we have the dashboard. This is where you'll be able to quickly look for any updates that you need, your activities. You can add a quick draft of your post in here. You can customize your dashboard by clicking this screen options in here and just check the sections you'd like to see in your dashboard. We then have the posts menu, where we'll be able to manage our blog posts. And then we have our media library. So all our files or media uploads are in here. And then we have pages. This is where we'll be able to add static pages like our homepage, about page, what else, contact page, and all those page that are not a blog post. We also have the menu for all the comments that we receive in our blog post and all the pages that where you enable the comment section. And then we're able to customize the look of our website using the appearance menu. We'll also be able to add plugins to make our site more functional. Okay, so don't mind the uploaded plugins in here. We'll talk about that later. Here's the menu to manage your user accounts, especially if you're aiming for followers, members, or subscribers, or if you'd like to add another admin account. So this is your admin account. The role is administrator. And then here's what else? Tools. So for the tools in here, usually we see all the plugins that we have added in here, all the tools that we can use to modify the website. And then here's the settings menu to modify some settings on our website, like the website name, setting up our home page and blog post page, and then URL default, and stuff like that. So here's what we will be seeing more as we set up everything on our WordPress site. We are now ready to install some essential plugins to power up our WordPress website. To install a plugin, head over to the plugins menu in here and then click Add New. Let's first install the plugin to activate our SSL certificate to make our website secured. Now take note, there are a lot of plugins that do the same functions. You just have to pick what you think would be best based on the reviews and recommendations, or you can try them out yourself. And the simplest plugin that I like to recommend, it's called what is really simple SSL. There you go, really simple SSL. So let's install and then activate. So you can install a plugin without activating it. It's like parking a car in your garage. It's there when you need it, but it takes up space in your storage, especially if you have a lot of plugins that are installed but are not active. It will add up and will affect the speed and overall performance of your site. So better delete the plugin if you're not using it. You can install it anytime, so it's not a problem. All right, we now have activated the really simple SSL plugin. It's time to enable the SSL. Okay, let's install. In some cases, it might take some time to effect, but once there's no not secure indicator here anymore, you're good to go. So if you found any error in installing your SSL and it's like it's too confusing, we can just override SSL detection and activate SSL. Okay, SSL has been activated. All good. All right, let's now move to some of the essential plugins that you can install to power up your website. Here are some of the plugins I use. I have here the Akismet Anti-Spam plugin to protect the website from spam. I also have the Anti-Spam Reloaded to avoid spams on comments without the need of CAPTCHA. And I also recommend Broken Link Checker. This notifies you when there's a broken link in any of your pages or blog posts. Usually, links become broken when, say, you have added an external link and that link was modified by the author or the owner, or say you have added your social media URL to your website and then you decided to change your username. Therefore, the URL also changes, stuff like that. I also use the child theme configurator. This will be useful once we add the theme to our website. I recommend creating a child theme so that your changes on the theme won't be affected if there are any updates on the original theme. Let's also add a contact form. The simplest one we can use is contact form 7. And then another one, duplicate page plugin. This is useful to easily duplicate a page in your website. Usually when you want to modify a page, but you'd like to keep a backup in case you ruin something on the page, this gets handy. I also recommend using an image optimizer plugin. It's important that the images you upload to your website are optimized. If the file is too large, your website won't load fast enough. But to avoid manually adjusting the size of each image you upload, we can use this plugin to make sure every time we upload, even a large file or image, it will be optimized inside WordPress. You can also add a maintenance plugin to your website if you'd like, to show your audience that your website is currently under maintenance. Now to monitor, so this one is currently activated. So to monitor all our 301 redirects and 404 errors, we have the redirection plugin. 301 indicates a permanent redirect from one URL to another. Say you have updated the URL and your audience types in an old URL, they'll get redirected to the new one. And 404 shows the audience that the page they're looking for is not available or doesn't exist. And then we have schema to help a user when it comes to searching something on the website. It will greatly improve the search results. Okay, tracking code manager. This is a convenient way to embed essential codes to your website instead of modifying your files and your database. Remember, earlier, I've noted that if you're not sure what to do inside your database and file manager, don't open it. Just don't. But there are cases that you need to embed a code, like let's say a Pinterest code to verify your website on your Pinterest account, or a Google search code to index your website on Google. You can instead add those necessary codes to your website using this plugin. It's such a huge help. Next one is user profile picture. It's a simple plugin to add an option in your settings to upload a profile picture of the user from your computer instead of connecting the user's Gravatar account. So this is the native setting or feature on WordPress. In adding a profile picture, you have to connect or change your profile picture on your Gravatar account. But using this plugin, we'll be able to upload the profile picture or the file directly from our computer. And lastly, I think everyone recommends Yoast SEO. It's a huge help in making sure that each of your pages and blog posts are search engine optimized. This plugin will give you some checklists on what you can do to optimize your page or post. So these are some of the essential plugins I recommend and I personally use. Let's bulk activate them. And here we go. Activate and apply. Feel free to explore the free plugins available. Test them all you want. Pick what's best for you, especially those that are specific to the website you're publishing. May it be a blog or a portfolio or an e-commerce store. Okay, let's just refresh this. There you go. They're all activated and you can see all of them here, like in the tools. We have the settings, the Yoast, SEO, schema, maintenance, what else? Contact form, and all those. And there you go. In the next video, we'll be installing a theme to make our website look nice and awesome. We're back in our dashboard, and as you can see, our website is now secured. There's a lock button in here, and you have the HTTPS not crossed out. And since we have activated and enabled the maintenance mode, when a user visits your website, it will show that it's under maintenance. So let's try it. When you're incognito, or there you go. It shows the site is undergoing maintenance. You can also customize how it looks on maintenance mode. So this time, let's install a theme to your website. Head over to Appearance menu, select Theme, click Add New, and let's explore some of the websites or themes available for free. You can also modify your search. Let's say I'm creating a portfolio website. So I can search here portfolio there. So we have a couple of portfolio themes in here, or we can uh, apply filters. So let's say I am creating a photography portfolio. So I'm a photographer and I'm creating a portfolio website. So let's click this photography portfolio. So it's up to you. If mainly your website is a blog, then you could just check blog, or you are creating an online store or e-commerce, so you can pick e-commerce. It's up to you. Okay, and some of the features here are specific to the layout that you want. So let's say you want what do you want? A full width template. Um, you want like there is a custom logo. Everybody wants a custom logo, of course. But I don't want to filter this out, so I won't just check this. Okay. This is the specific look or layout. If you want, let's say, a one column, or there is a right sidebar in your website. So those are some of the options. So let's just keep it as this. We have some of the themes that are applicable for my photography business and a portfolio website that I want to publish. Let's see. Let's say I want this one. Details and preview. Okay, so this is the preview of the website. But since we don't have any content in our website yet, it's like a blank page. But this is how like the home page looks. Let's have a sub page, something like that. It's just simple. So it's based on your taste. So explore, you can install and then activate, and then if you don't want it, then look for another one. Just my advice would be, don't let yourself spend too much time in creating a theme without your website having a content yet. All right, so we are just trying out a theme here. Later on, we will be creating content for your website, sample content, sample pages, so that you can decide which theme would be best for your website. And don't worry, you can change themes anytime you want. It's not something like the domain that it will be very inconvenient if you change your domain in here. There will be a lot of steps to take in changing a domain, but for themes, you can change it anytime. And like when you, for example, you want to go back to your old theme, then you can go back. The content is still the same, the layout is still the same. So don't worry too much about installing and customizing a theme for your website. So let's try to install this one and see if it will work on the website that I'm looking to publish. And then install and activate. Okay, themes are like plugins. If you're not using them, make sure to like just delete them, because it adds up to the storage on your website, and it affects the speed of your website. So let's just delete all these. But remember, you have to have these are the like the native WordPress themes. So you have to have one of these. I think this is the latest one. So, all right, now we have a theme. Let's preview our website. Okay, so it has like a sample content for you to see the overall look of the website, and then we'll be able to customize this later on. Before we customize our theme, let's create some content. Let's write our first blog post. Head over to Posts menu, and then click Add New, and it will direct us to the native post editor of WordPress. You may also install other post or page editors, but the native one is pretty much great as it is. So this is where we add the title, as obviously, and the body of the post. The content is added by block, so we can add like a heading, a paragraph, an image, gallery, and other options that you can add are easily accessible in here. So let's say we want to add the title. I'm gonna write WordPress for beginners. All right, and then some subheadings like I want to add a heading here. Let's say WordPress 101, and then another heading. Sorry, heading. Okay, we can add like heading 2. What is this? I think this is heading 2. Heading 1 is the title. And then heading 2, you have the subheadings here. Let's say H3, which is the smaller one. How about essential plugins for WordPress? Okay. And then let's add some paragraphs. So under this subheading, let's enter and then add a paragraph. So by default, it's paragraph. I don't have anything to say, so let's have some sample text in here. Let me copy this part. And then you can also have other parts as bold, and then others are italic. And then you can add some external link in here. Let's say the link is like YouTube. There we go. You may enable the open in new tab so that when the user clicks the link in here, it will open in new tab and they won't get away with your website. Okay. What else? Let's also add another here. Oops. And then I think we can add some. I want to add some list. So let's say these are lists. There we go. Another list. Okay. And we have our first post. Let's just delete this one. We can also add some separator. Let's say you want more spaces in between paragraphs. So we can add, is it divider? Separator. There we go. Okay, so a separator or space, spacer. Okay, if you don't want any lines, you can add a space in here. And then there are some options that you can modify in the sidebar. So let's say we have this article. So on this sidebar, we have the summary, which is the visibility of the article or the blog post that's public. think you can modify it to private or password protected for, let's say the post is a paid article or a members only article. Publish immediately. So once we hit publish, it will be visible to the public. And this one is the specific URL of this post. And then, yeah, the type of template that you will use. Is there any option? The default template. And then you have the single post. So this is a blog post. So we use the default template, which is the single post. And then if you want to stick this article to the top of your blog, then you can do so here. And then what else? The author of the blog, if you wanted a different user or the different author, you can set it here. Okay, and then the status from the Yoast SEO, if the readability is good and if the SEO analysis is good or needs improvement. So at the bottom here, there is a checklist that you can use to see how you can improve the SEO of this blog post. Okay, and then we have categories. So you can add a new category. Let's see, we have category as WordPress. And add category. You can add multiple categories and subcategories. And then tags. So these contribute to the keywords for this blog post. So usually the related keywords, let's say WordPress for beginners. And then WordPress on essential plugins. Something like that. Okay, featured image. So make sure every blog post has a featured image. This affects how your website looks. So let's set a featured image. So one source of free stock images that we can use for our blog post is Unsplash. Make sure the images you use are free from copyright. Okay. WordPress. Let's run it here. Directly download. Okay. So let's just drop it here. And set to featured image. Good. And then all good in there. So at the bottom, we have the SEO, the focus key phrase. Usually it's the title of your website. So let's set it as that. WordPress for beginners. And then we can add here the slug, which is, let's see, WordPress dash for beginners. And then meta description is like the beginning, the description of the article. And it's best practice to add the keyword to include the keyword to your meta description. So let's say this is the meta description. There we go. And then I'd like to add the WordPress beginners here, because it helps in the search engine optimization. Okay, this is all good. And then, so just explore some of the advice of Yoast SEO here to make sure that your blog post is search engine optimized. Okay, so these are the good ones that we've done in this article. So try to apply all, not really all, but just, most of them. Okay. So make sure to save draft, especially if your internet is not that stable. And don't worry if ever you hit publish, you can edit it anytime. Okay, so if you think it's not perfect, if you think you have other things to consider, just, don't worry about it. Okay, let's try to preview in tab. And this is how it goes. Your first blog post. Okay, that's pretty much it. Let's now create some of the pages of your website. So now that we're done creating our first post, let's have our first page. Okay, so head over to pages and then add new. Let's say we're creating a contact us page. So the title is anything you want. Contact us, and then we'll have to add a contact form. So this is a block. Let's search for some contact form. We have installed and activated a plugin called Contact Form 7, so we can add that one, or using the contact form of the theme, if any. So I see that the themes that we've activated has a contact form that's designed and aligned with the look of the theme that we've installed. So this is the contact form. Okay. Actually, they use the Contact Form 7 plugin as well. Um, let's see. So I don't want to change the image. That's just it. Let's say this one is reach out to us. Like that. And then what's this? Okay. So join us, blah blah blah. Feel free to reach out to us for any questions and concerns. There you go. And then let's add the form. So this one is just a layout of like the contact page aligned with the theme. We do need to add the contact form. Something like that. Okay. Make sure we have an existing contact form in the contact form section. Let me check it. So under the contacts menu, we have the contact form, and the first contact form that was created when we installed is the default one, contact form 1. So this one is like the basic info that we need, or that the user need to fill out when they try to contact us. Okay, so is there a preview? All right, so you have the name of the user. They have to enter their email, the subject of the email or the message, and then the body of the message, and then click submit. So that's the content of contact form 1. Let's just add it here, and then we're good. Save draft. Let's preview it first. Creating a page is pretty much direct to the point. You just have to drop all the elements that you need, and that's just it. Beautiful. So this is our contact us page. Okay, so feel free to create any page that you need for your website or for your portfolio, and feel free to upload any screenshot of your pages in our project section or the discussion section. So now that we have a contact us page, let's now create a home page for our website. Currently, the home page shows the latest blog post that we have. Let's refresh this. Actually, not the latest one, but the featured post that we have. So this is the home page, and we will be creating a specific content for the homepage that we'd like to show on our website. Let's do it. So again, under the pages menu, add new and create a page. So what do we want? Let's say we want to put a heading like who we are, and then another is what we do, stuff like that. Okay. So let's say we're adding some paragraphs in here, some text. So I have sample text in here, and then some spacer, uh, separator, and then another paragraph. So it's actually much easier that your content is ready for your website. There you go. Let's make it center aligned. Oh, this one. Okay. Sorry. Center. There we go. And then we can also, let's add a separator again. And then maybe we can add a button to, let's say, contact us now. Oops. Okay. We can make it center aligned. Is it this one? So here we go. I can make it uh, text is like whites there, and some spacer. Okay, make sure if you add a button, make sure to add your link. So let's type in the contact page. Where's our contact page? Okay, let me see. So this is the contact page. So let's get the URL of the contact page. Contact us. There you go. But it should appear here. No. Anyway, let's just copy the website and then there you go. Save draft. Review. Oh, okay. Found it. Haven't clicked the publish button. Okay, so this is now the homepage. Right. Let's hit publish. So in the next video, we will be modifying the homepage of our website. It's this one. Currently, it's aligned with the theme, but it's under like the demo version of the theme. So we will be modifying our homepage to make it look more aligned with the website that we're creating. Okay. So we will be modifying all the info in here, all the parts in here, uh, the way we want it. See you in the next video. Let's now modify our homepage. So in the latest version of WordPress, we now have the front-end theme editor, which is more convenient. It's a straightforward approach in editing our homepage. And let's do it. Mhm. So we have our name, We can center this one. Is it center? Wait, let's try to save it. So make sure you hit save whenever you hit anything or whenever you edit anything. I see that it's still in beta version, so there might be some bugs and errors that you might encounter, like this one. Why isn't this center justify? There you go. Okay. Okay, so you can add your logo here. I don't have a logo yet, so I can leave it as is. It's like a text logo. And then you can add the social links in here. So if you are creating a website and you don't have the available links yet, just enter the symbol hashtag so that it will still create a link, but it won't direct you to anything. Okay. Okay, so later on, we will get to edit our menu page. So let's skip that one. And then let's say we have cakes and coffee. And for this one, let's say this is order now. So again, it's a button, so make sure to add some links. There you go, our page, contact us. It's there. And then you can also, there's a plus button here to add additional blocks if you want. So let's say we're adding some buttons there. And then so something like that. We have a button here, so let's just remove this. Okay. So to edit the picture, let's replace the image with something in our media library. So let's say this one is our image. There you go. Okay, so let's save this and set our home page to be the home page that we created. So first thing, that one, dashboard. So under settings, let's have the reading setting. So under the settings menu, reading settings, your homepage displays your latest blog post. Okay. We will be, if you would like your homepage to be, showing the latest blog post, then you're good. But if you want a static page, like a dedicated homepage, you will need to toggle this one and then set the homepage as the specific page that we created for home, which is this one. And then the post page is like the blog page. So actually, we don't have to create that. Okay, we're good. And then let's set up our menu, dedicated menu. Okay. So let's set up our menu here. Let's edit and then convert to links. So this one is our home. Let's set it in, actually it's linked to home. And then contact us page, we have the contact us. Sample page, we can just remove it since we're not using it. So we can just switch them up. We have the home, contact us. I think those are the only pages that we created. So that is good now. So you can drag and drop any elements in here that you want. You can add featured post from your blog, and you can add the latest post and all that you want. Let's see. Okay, so it's now cleaner. And then we can just edit this one. Like something like that. Then you can replace the icons in here with any image that you like. Let's say this one is like the photography, like the services that you want to offer. Illustration, blogging, stuff like that. So pretty much straightforward. You can just replace all the text that you like based on the description of your services. And then don't forget the link. Make sure it's correct. Let's say you create a separate page for the details of the photography services that you'd like to offer. Then you can put that here. Same thing with the other parts of your website. Okay. You can also change the color of the background in here, and then you can change this one as well, like contrast. If you see something like this, just you know resolve, or if not, convert to classic block, or just delete it, because you can add another one anytime you want. Okay, just hit save, and then let's also add or update the footer. So get in touch or contact us. Just modify your number and then your email address. Let's say I want to add my email address in here. And then opening hours. Let's say open 24 hours. Okay, so you can also replace other parts of the footer in here. Instead of recent post, you can post here the pages that they can visit. And then for the newsletter, you have to add something like ConvertKit or a newsletter, like an email marketing platform, to add a content in here, or you can remove the newsletter and just say let's have gallery and let's add some of the photos that we can show off on our website. Something like this. There we go. Let's also replace it with another photo. There you go. Okay. And there you have it, the homepage of your website. And there you have it. Congratulations on completing the WordPress for Beginners course. You're now equipped on starting a WordPress website, and it would be more awesome to apply what you have learned in trying out and creating your first WordPress site. Don't be afraid to explore your admin page, try out the plugins that we have installed, create multiple blog posts, create other pages that you think you need for your website, try out other themes, like literally the sky's the limit. And I'd like to encourage you to post your project for this class to share with anyone who might also be taking the same class as yours. It would be fun to share our progress. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We have a discussion page to talk about any concerns that you might have while creating your WordPress site. I'm so excited to see your projects. Thank you so much for completing this course. Till the next class.